Welcome to the Organizedpreneur Podcast, the show where we help you to master the art of podcasting and productivity. Hey, I'm your host, Aldreama Harper, and today we have an exciting episode lined up for you. If you've been struggling to stay consistent with your podcast, this one is for you. Because today we're going to dive into the Eisenhower Method, or the Eisenhower Matrix, which is a very powerful tool to help you stay on track and keep your podcast thriving. Are you ready? Let's go. So, today, before we jump into today's topic, let me just share a quick story with you, because this is really one of my wheelhouses, productivity. Well, actually, they both are, but let me just say this. So, I am really excited about this episode, mainly because I love podcasting and I love productivity. But when I first started my podcast, I was all over the place. I had tons of ideas. I'm sure that probably resonates with you. I'm sure you can identify with that. As an entrepreneur, we always have a lot of ideas. But I didn't have a clear plan. When I wanted to launch my podcast, I didn't have a clear plan. Many of you already know, if you've been following me, I've launched 3 podcasts and I've launched several businesses. But when I decided that I was going to really dive into podcasting, when I started out, I didn't have a plan. Okay. So I was all over the place. I launched the first one with no plan, so therefore I had 12 episodes and then I stopped. Okay? The second podcast that I did was with my business partner. Now that was pretty consistent. And we did well over 400 episodes. And now... And that's because we had a plan. But now I'm doing my Organizedpreneur episodes, and I'm very consistent. Very consistent. I do an episode every week, consistently. I'm on my 3rd year, actually. No, my second year of this podcast. And so my point is, I had all these ideas on the first one, the second one, consistency, this one, very consistent. But when I did not have a direction for my podcast, it would hamper my productivity. It hampered my consistency. I wasn't consistent. That's why I only had 12 episodes, right? And so, even though I've taught many to get organized, because that's what I've done in my organizing business, which I'm no longer doing, but in my organizing business, I taught people how to declutter and get organized in their homes and their offices and things like that. But once I discovered the Eisenhower Method, and this was maybe about a year ago, things really started to change. And so you may be familiar with the Eisenhower Method or the Eisenhower Matrix, and because there are a lot of versions of it, right? But it's a very, very effective tool that really helped me to prioritize my tasks. I have my own version of it, and you can take this simple tool and this simple framework and apply it to whatever you're doing. And so for me, it helps me to prioritize my tasks. It helps me to focus on the things that truly matter, the things that's most important to me. And so now, not only am I consistent in my podcasting endeavors, I'm productive and consistent in my activities, in my business, in my personal life. I'm very productive. And so it's just taken my skill set to a whole nother level. So today I'm going to share this with you so that you can do the same. You can do the same that I'm doing. You can be very consistent in your podcasting activities. Now, it's one of the questions that really comes up all the time when we're meeting in our virtual events or in our community. One of the questions is always, how can I be consistent? How can I want to do this, but I just don't know how to be consistent, when coming up with content and things like that. So this is exactly why the Eisenhower Method is so very, very powerful. So exactly what is the Eisenhower Matrix or the Eisenhower Method? So this method was named after Dwight D. Eisenhower, which was the 34th president of the United States. And it's a method that helps you to prioritize tasks based on their urgency and importance. Okay? It uses a matrix, right? Divided into 4 quadrants. So I want to break this down, and I'm going to show you how this can apply to your podcasting journey. Sound good? Okay. So here we go. So I said it was 4 quadrants. Some people may call them buckets. Some people may call them categories. Doesn't matter. So let's talk about the first bucket or category. So the first one, now I have kind of customized it, but it's still the same principle. Okay, I kind of wanted to use it in a way that makes sense for me and that is easier for me to remember. Okay, so here we go. So the first bucket or category I call the prioritizing category. Okay, this is the category where the tasks that are urgent and important and need your immediate attention go into this bucket. Okay, into this category, into this quadrant. Okay, these are things that need your immediate attention. They are important and urgent. Okay, and so for example, let's just say an episode that needs to be released tomorrow. Maybe you got to publish it like tomorrow. You got a little bit behind on things and it needs to be published right away. Okay, and so that would be something that goes into this particular bucket. It needs your immediate attention. You may need to record and edit, and maybe it goes live soon. Maybe it goes live today. That's something that would be immediate, urgent, and important. So it's got to be in the bucket of prioritize. Okay, so that's bucket 1. It's your top priority because it directly impacts your podcast consistency. Okay, we're talking about being consistent. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2 is calendarize. I call it calendarize because I'm a person who lives by her calendar. Okay, so these items are important but not urgent. Okay, so the first one was urgent and important. The second one is important but not urgent, which means these tasks are important but they can be planned. So think of planning and scripting like, your future episodes, researching your topics, researching your guests if you're doing an interview that's coming up soon. But this is crucial for your podcast, but you can put it on your calendar. So it's important. it's just not urgent. You don't have to do it right now. So again, this includes planning, like planning your content calendar, scripting your episodes, and things that you can do to improve your podcast. Maybe that's learning a new skill, or looking at, new tools that you just kind of learned about, right? So by scheduling these tasks or putting them on your calendar, you can ensure that your consistency will be moving forward. Your level of consistency and improving your consistency will go up, right? It's going to be on the upward, take an upward momentum, okay, without the last minute rush. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. Okay, the third bucket, or the third category, or third quadrant, I call it the delegate bucket. Okay, this is urgent but not important. Okay, urgent but not important. And so these tasks can be delegated because it has to be done, right? So you can delegate this to someone else, or you can outsource it. Maybe it's like routine administrative tasks that they have to be done. Maybe it's accounting or something, but because if you're in business, you're going to need to keep up with those numbers, right? Maybe it's some statistics that you want to keep up with, or some KPIs or some metrics or things like that. This is something that you can outsource, but it is important. Okay. And so, but here's the thing that makes it a little bit different, is that it's critical. It's not critical for you to handle personally. So it falls under the delegating bucket, and it frees up, this is the most important part, it frees up your time for other activities that you should be working on. Okay. Outsourcing, like your editing, or using automation tools for social media posting. These are the type of things that can go into this category, because you should not be doing this. Okay. But it is important to your podcasting and your business endeavors. Okay. So that's number 3, delegate. Number 4, terminate, like the Terminator. So in this bucket are items that they may be on your to-do list, but when you look at it, it's like, nah, I don't need to do that, because they're not urgent, nor is this important. This can be removed, eliminated, terminated from your to-do list, like non-essential meetings, or spending excessive time on social media for no reason at all, right? Setting healthy boundaries and learning to say no. Learning to say no to things that don't align with your goals, because these are distractions. So if you look at the things in this bucket, and you put this on your to-do list, you need to go back and figure out, okay, is this urgent? And if the answer is no, and then you say, is this important? And then the answer is no. Guess what? You need to terminate that activity, because they are distractions that's eating up your time and not adding value to your podcast. Okay? All right. So, number 1, prioritize prioritize is number 1, urgent and important activities. Number 2, calendarize important but not urgent. You schedule those. Number 3, delegate urgent but not important. Okay? Number 4, not urgent, not important, so terminate. Okay? So, I would love to know, have you tried this before? Have you tried the Eisenhower Method and applied it to your podcasting? Maybe you have applied it to other things that you do, but maybe you haven't applied it to podcasting. I would love to hear if you've tried it or not. And how do you prioritize your podcast tasks? I would love for you to just share that, your thoughts, share your experiences. You can share them on social media. And use the hashtag Eisenhower Podcast Method so that we can keep the conversation going. All right. So that is all I have for you today. If you're ready to take your podcasting game to the next level and start using the Eisenhower Method, I would love to help you get started with that, because I have a free Eisenhower Matrix template that you can download from my website. All you have to do is go to organizedpreneur.com so that you can download that metrics or that matrix or that that today, so that you can, it's a template is what it is. Okay. I'm having too much fun and getting distracted. So, but here's the thing. I don't want you to continue your procrastination and your inconsistency. I really want you to take action so that you can stay consistent. Okay? Stay consistent. All right. So in our next episode, we're going to be diving into the world of podcast marketing, and we'll just explore some best strategies so that you can grow your audience and increase your engagement. So you definitely don't want to miss this. So just stay tuned. All right. So I like to close with a scripture always. Today's scripture is Romans 12:10. This is the NIV version. It says, "Be devoted to one another in love. Honor another above yourselves." Thanks for listening to the Organizedpreneur Podcast. I'm Aldreama Harper, reminding you to stay focused, keep pursuing your business and your podcasting dreams with passion and purpose. Until next time, happy podcasting. Are you ready? Let's go.